MMAOddsBreaker. Today we're talking to Marcus Edwards, getting ready to fight Shame Campbell coming up here on October 3rd. MFC 41. There's been a crap ton of changes. How many opponent changes have you had during this fight?
Man, fortunately, I've only had one, and unfortunately, I've only had one. Tom Galicchio, had to pull out due to an elbow injury, and Shane Campbell's opponent also pulled out. So we decided to do a catchweight at 161 to, headline the MFC 41.
So are you guys now, where are you in the fight card? Are you the main event, the co-main event? What is it?
Yeah, we're the main event.
Okay.
So we're gonna be ending the fight with the night of fights with a bang.
Were you nervous any time when Tom, you got the phone call that Tom got pulled out, that you might not have an opponent coming up, or did Pavlich and Scott Zier get you an opponent pretty quickly?
I wasn't nervous at all. As soon as Mark Pavlich called me and let me know that he pulled out, he told me he had people lined up, and just to stay focused and keep training. And he called me back actually that night and told me I had an opponent, and that as long as I was willing to take it on the weight, and we had a fight.
What's the difference between Tom Galicchio, who's your original opponent, and now Shane Campbell, who you are fighting? What's the difference in them fighting-wise?
Oh man, totally two different fighters. One's a black belt ground guy, and then the guy that I'm fighting now is a K1 champion kickboxer over in China. So two different guys, but it doesn't bother me, man. I go out to fight, so I train to be better than I was yesterday, and to be better than I was the previous fight. So going out to fight these two totally different fighters hasn't shaken me or rumbled my training at all. I'm prepared to go out there and fight anybody at any given time with any style.
Did Mark Montoya have to come with a totally different game plan for you? Well, first of all, is Mark your head trainer for this fight?
Yeah, Mark's my head trainer.
And did he have to come with a completely different game plan to get this thing squared away for you?
No, not at all. We don't really attack, styles or, come at it with a certain, what we're going to do and what we're not going to do. We may have certain combinations that we work that we see that, are going to be open. But, I fight my own fight. I don't go in there fighting how, I think my opponent doesn't want me to fight, or to, fight the, towards their weaknesses. I go out there to fight to be the best Marcus Bad Intentions I can be, and I'm a well-rounded fighter. So that's where I try to attack the game, is just being myself.
A lot of times guys try to come in with a totally different style to try game plan specifically for a particular guy, and you obviously said that you don't. Your last 4 fights has worked pretty well. I mean, you had a 4-fight win streak, but when you fought Efren Escudero, you lost a split decision, and that was back in June of 2013. So I know it's not fresh in your mind. You might remember, exactly what happened during that fight. But if there was something you could have done specifically during that fight against Efren that would have changed at least one judge's mind to vote for you as opposed to voting for Efren, what do you think it would be?
Ultimately, I think I wish I could have went in there with a totally different mindset that I went in it, and I felt I could have finished the fight. It was a big learning experience for me, going into a fight mentally not there, not willing to fight. So, on the judge's card, I feel if I would have, came in there being myself, I don't think it would have went to the judge's card. But with, let's say it did, I feel I would have dominated more of the fight, been more aggressive, and been, more willing to push the pace. It was a big time in my life that a lot of stuff was going on. My life was kind of upside down, and I still went through with the fight. And it was a big learning experience for me that, this is our career and this is what happened. So, it's a big thing is just a mindset issue with that fight. And I feel if I would have went in there with my mind clear and focused on 100% fighting, I feel that the outcome would have been a lot different than what it was.
Have you been focused since then on 100% fighting?
100%. Since 2014, I changed everything about, who I am, what I'm after, my goals, my weekly goals to my monthly goals to my, my yearly goals. So, I'm a totally different person inside and out.
If MFC had 5 fights in a year, would you fight in all 5 of them? Because this is the 3rd fight of this year, and you've fought in the first 2, and now you're going to be fighting in the 3rd one.
Oh man, if they had 8 fights this year, I would fight in all 8 fights, man. I love to fight. If you look at my record, man, I fight. I took the first fight for MFC, 39 on 4-day notice, man. I fight. I love to do this. This is what I do day in and day out. This is my job. I don't have any other job. So if I can step in their cage or the ring, every month, I will.
Of your 10 fights, only 3 of them have gone out of the first round, and only 2 of them have made it to the third round. And those both were decision losses. One to Efren Escudero in the first fight that you ever fought professionally was Justin Gaethje. Though you lost those 2 decisions. And then you had one more fight that went in the second round, and you got the KO in that one against Dustin Senna. That was way back in 2012. Obviously, somebody looking at your record, they're going to go, well, if you can get out of the first round with this guy, I got a shot of winning, because usually you win in the first round. Like, usually it's devastating. You've got 4 KOs and 4 submissions. So it's not like, oh, if I just stay away, keep it on the feet, I'm going to win. Or if I just keep it on the ground, I'm going to win. You can beat me anywhere that we go in the first round, but I just got to get out of the first round. Is that necessarily true? Or do you feel like that guys just fall down a lot quicker than they should?
No, no, definitely not true. I hope my opponents think that. My work ethic is ridiculous. I'm one of the hardest workers in the gym, and everybody knows that. Like, the big guys hate going with me because of my pace, and the little guys hate going with me because of my strength and my pace. So I love to push and work hard. But due to those 2 fights, where one was very young off of my career, and never been outside the first round, and it was just I didn't know how to win by points at that time. I didn't know how to I didn't know how it was scored. I was fresh, I didn't really know anything about it. I was just out there fighting. The second one, we already went over that, and, it was, just a mindset issue and a big learning experience for me, on the mental game, on the mental aspect of the sport. I can beat anybody in any position or any round. I feel that I'm very dangerous, stand up on the ground, in the clinch, on the cage, off my back, or on top of somebody. And I can be dangerous for 3 rounds, especially now going into, this fight and having as much experience as I have mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. Going into these fights, I feel very confident in each and every round to finish a fight. That's what I do.
Well, Marcus, good luck against Shane Campbell. It's going to be a great fight. I appreciate you coming on here and spending a little bit of time. Of course, you can see this fight on Maximum Fighting Championships 41, October 3rd. It'll be airing live on Access TV here in the States. Marcus, good luck, and we'll talk to you soon, bud.
Thanks. I appreciate it, sir.